If you're over 60, there's a good chance your body is storing a very specific and honestly, pretty dangerous type of fat. Today, we are going to break down a science-backed protocol to tackle it head on. And some of these strategies, they're going to surprise you. So let's dive right in. First, let me ask you something. According to scientists at Harvard Medical School, there's a type of fat that isn't the kind you can pinch on your arm. No, this is something else entirely, a silent killer that could be hiding deep inside your abdomen right now. And this slide really shows you the critical difference. So on the right, you've got your subcutaneous fat. That's the pinchable stuff right under your skin. It's relatively harmless. But on the left, that's visceral fat. This stuff wraps around your vital organs, and get this, it releases hundreds of toxins that can trigger serious diseases. This is the fat we need to talk about. To put it bluntly, the research describes this as a fat that is literally poisoning you from the inside out. This isn't about how you look in the mirror. We're talking about a serious internal health threat. But here's the good news, and it is really good news. Researchers at Washington University found that losing just 5% of this dangerous fat can add up to 7 years to your life expectancy. It responds incredibly fast when you send it the right signals, and that's exactly what we're about to cover. All right, let's kick off our countdown with strategy number 5. Protein timing. See, it's not just about how much protein you eat, it's about when you eat it. And for those of us over 60, getting this right can be an absolute metabolic game changer. So what's the magic number? Well, research from the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition shows that adults over 60 really need about 25 to 30 grams of protein per meal. Why? Well, that's the amount you need to kickstart muscle protein synthesis, which is just a fancy way of saying repairing and building muscle. And that's crucial because muscle tissue burns way more calories at rest than fat does. And this chart just says it all. In one 6-month study, the group that spaced their protein out, hitting that 25 to 30 gram target at each meal, they lost 23% more visceral fat than the other group. And the other group ate the exact same amount of protein, but they crammed it all into one big dinner. It's all about the timing. Okay, strategy number 4. This is where things get really fascinating. It actually involves using mild cold to reactivate your body's own fat-burning furnace. Now, I know that sounds intense, but trust me, it's way simpler than you think. The secret here is something called brown fat. So, unlike the white fat that makes up all that dangerous visceral stuff, brown fat is the good fat. It actually burns calories to create heat. Now, it does get less active as we age, but the research shows we can wake it back up and get it to use that dangerous white fat for fuel. And here's how you do it, with super simple, easy steps. You could lower your thermostat for just a couple of hours, end your shower with a quick 30-second cool rinse, or even just drink cold water. In fact, one study found that when people combined just the first 2 methods, they saw 31% more visceral fat loss. That's a huge boost. Coming in at number 3, we're focusing on when you eat, not necessarily what you eat. It's all about aligning your meals with your body's natural 24-hour clock to unlock this powerful built-in fat-burning mode. So researchers at the Salk Institute, they found the sweet spot, a 10-hour eating window. So for example, you start your first meal at 9 a.m., and you finish your last by 7 p.m. That creates a 14-hour fasting period overnight, and that's when your body shifts from burning sugar to burning stored fat, and it specifically targets that visceral fat. And the results from this, they were absolutely stunning. The people who just compressed their meals into that window without changing a single thing they ate lost 47% more visceral fat than people eating the same calories all day long. 47%. That's a massive difference. All right, we're down to strategy number 2. This is about fiber. But hold on, not just any fiber. We're talking about a specific type combined with a special booster that can literally signal your gut to start burning that visceral fat for fuel. Just look at the difference on this chart. A study from Wake Forest found that for every 10 grams of soluble fiber, people saw a 3.7% drop in visceral fat. Pretty good, right? But when they added prebiotics, which are basically food for your good gut bacteria, that number more than doubled to an 8.4% reduction. It's a powerhouse combination. So the key is to focus on the most effective sources. The research pointed to cognac root and ground flaxseed as some of the best soluble fibers. And for prebiotics, Jerusalem artichokes, garlic, and onions were the real superstars. Now, we're at our final strategy, but before I reveal it, I want you to think about this. What if the single most powerful method for melting away visceral fat had absolutely nothing to do with food or exercise? And here it is. Our number one strategy is a specific breathing technique. I know, it sounds crazy, but researchers at the University of Copenhagen found this method activates a critical nerve in your body that directly tells visceral fat cells to release their stored energy.
The technique is called 4-7-8 breathing. It's so simple. You just breathe in through your nose for 4 seconds, hold it for 7, and then exhale slowly through your mouth for 8. But the most important part is right there at the bottom. You have to use your diaphragm. Your belly should rise and fall, not your chest. This deep belly breathing is what stimulates the vagus nerve, and that's what triggers the fat-burning response.
And you don't have to take my word for it. The researchers' own words really say it all. They found this technique triggered massive visceral fat reduction, even without any other changes to diet or exercise. People who did this just twice a day lost 42% more visceral fat than the control group. Incredible! So what happens when you put all these strategies together? Well, the results are just incredible. Participants who used all 5 of these methods lost an average of 4.2 inches from their waistline in just 30 days, and scans confirmed it was mostly that dangerous visceral fat that was disappearing. So to wrap it all up, here is your 5-point action plan. Number 5, time your protein. Number 4, use some mild cold exposure. 3, eat within that 10-hour window. 2, load up on strategic fiber and prebiotics. And number 1, practice that 4-7-7 breathing twice a day. Each one of these strategies sends a powerful new signal to your body, and the science is crystal clear. Your body is so capable of change at any age when you just give it the right signals. So the only question left is, which new signal are you going to send it first?